How many times have I told you? How many times has history been clear? Government can't and won't protect you. But at the same time, government doesn't want you to be prepared and doesn't want you to be self-sufficient. Look at New York or Chicago. Ban guns, and then the criminals all move there and feed on the public. Again, Alex Jones here reporting for Infowars.com. New York, New Jersey, and other areas are descending into bedlam. Looting, attacks, people being beat up and robbed, and Bloomberg has the police out running checkpoints on the highway to make sure people only carpool into the city. Let me show you these articles at DrudgeReport.com. It's got the most extensive reportage right now. Infowars.com does as well, but Drudge has got it all right there linked for you. Gas shortages may not end for another week. Fear turns to frustration. Look at it backed up right there. You're not getting gas tonight. Fuel scrambles, some siphoning from cars. I'm pretty pissed. Troopers deployed at gas stations. Con Ed, vast majority won't have power until November 11th. The election's the 6th in 5 days. Stars throw extravagant Halloween party despite destruction. Commuter delays rage. Yeah, those stars also have their own armed bodyguards who are licensed to have guns. New York City official. Red Cross, absolute disgrace. So the rich people like Bloomberg can have guns, but you can't. And, of course, over and over again, the Red Cross has been caught keeping most of the money from disasters. I would not give money to Red Cross. Give it to Salvation Army. I've done the research. That's who I give to. Look at this. Obama left them behind. Hungry dumpster diving in New York City. And I'm no Romney fan. But you notice that they criticized Romney for going and trying to deliver food. But if he wouldn't have, they'd have criticized him for that. But, I mean, just look at this. They're now having newscasts, if you watch some of these, where people, families are digging around in dumpsters trying to get food. I'm going to ask people out there, why in the world don't you have a month's supply of food, water, and firearms? Unless you're in cities like New York where you can't own guns. Unless you're a rich person who's got private bodyguards and gets a government waiver. Why is it so bad to be prepared? Why am I a bad guy for selling, and this is a plug here because I think you should get prepared, strategic relocation? Just even if you live in a big city, it has the escape routes, safest areas in that city to live. If you live in New York, New Jersey, wherever, L.A., San Francisco. I got this book back when it was the first edition because I wanted to be prepared. I moved to the Texas Hill Country outside Austin. Strategic relocation just means living in the safest area. The economic zones, the safest countries in the world if you're wanting to flee the country. The Secure Home by Joel Skousen. All the information goes into this film that we're going to put out next week at prisonplanet.tv for everybody. The new film, Strategic Relocation, the DVD. Now, here's the issue. If you don't get prepared with this material, you better get prepared with it somewhere. You better start thinking about not being dependent on government. Did they help you in Katrina? No, they came and took your guns. They made the poor folks go to the Superdome and wouldn't give them food or water for 6 days, while piles of food and water were guarded by the military 100 yards away. Families that tried to walk out on the highways where it was high and dry were shot. Remember that? All the guns will be taken. No one will be allowed to be armed. Just type in gun confiscation Katrina into YouTube. You'll see it. This is what we have to see. And I hope this doesn't degenerate. I'd said this storm was mainly hype. But things are getting worse and worse by the minute. And government can't and won't help you because the instinct of government isn't to serve or help anymore. It's to dominate and run checkpoints on the highway, making sure you follow Agenda 21 that Bloomberg is so obsessed with. So that's all at DrudgeReport.com. If you go to Infowars.com, you can see our coverage of the puppet election. You can see TSA screener arrested for alleged child rape. It was helping at-risk children. You got the head of Penn State now arrested on top of Sandusky. Big Sis, though, don't worry, is going to roll out military drones on you and your family. Government has gone bad. It normally goes bad in history. And we've got a case of bad government. And like cancer, it's got to be cut out. All right. The question is now, how bad will New York get? Will it turn into Escape from New York if the services basically break down in the city? I don't know. People are pretty resilient. They'll probably work it out. But here's my final point. How are they going to vote when large areas of the East Coast won't have power until November 11th, when the election's 5 days away right now? We saw articles saying this could be used to postpone the election, but now they're saying that's not going to happen. Regardless, a lot can happen in the next 5 days. and we're going to be covering it all. If you want to check out the DVD, it's at InfoWarsStore.com. Strategic Relocation by Joel Skousen, and there's extras on it that break down how to secure your home. I have followed the information in these books and in this film. That's why I've been presenting it, because knowledge is power. Government's digging in, building bunkers, 1.6 billion bullets, building FEMA camps now on record, civilian inmate labor camp program, all the executive orders on re-education camps. Look them up. We need to get ready, because they have to have us destitute before we beg for them to take over and reorganize America. The bankers engineered the Great Depression on record to sell the Social Security government takeover to make us dependent. This is the next big move. Europe is imploding into tyranny right now, and the same mega banks are doing it. So again, escape from New York? How about escape from the New World Order? Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com.